And welcome back to The Price of Business. I'm your host, Chris Kelso, filling in for Kevin Price. Remember, you can find us 7x24 with all of our guest articles and news at priceofbusiness.com. We encourage everybody to go out there, take a look at it. You know, we're coming back to this segment. This is part of our Energy Corridor segment, and I've got Kent Batman and I have Buddy Gaertner. They're both with Vichem Ecofluids. In fact, you can check them out at vichemecofluids.com. That's VICHEMECO Fluids.com. Great company. Appreciate both of you staying back over for the next segment right here.
Great to be back.
Well, you know, and one of the things that, I wanted to sort of talk about as well is let us know a little bit about how Vichem Ecofluids actually was started. Let us know a little bit about your history and what's going on right now.
All right. Well, I'm going to let Buddy talk about the history, and also, if we get a chance, Chris, I want to let him talk a little bit about some of the results in a paper that he's written and defended last week. So,
I would love to. Absolutely.
Buddy, go
Let
ahead.
I'll tell you a little bit about the history of Vichem. We actually have strong roots in drilling fluids engineering, so we work with the company Conquest Drilling Fluids in development of a product. And some of these products Conquest had been using for quite some time in the field, and there was clearly a need for a high-performance water-based bud that could rival oil-based alternatives. And so we took some components that they've used in the past and have shown proven effectiveness over quite some time. And we really combined that with the addition of me in the laboratory with some new technologies that we're working on. And what we came up with was the multi-hydroxyl alcohol drilling fluid system. And that system is right now what Vichem is marketing and really pushing, and we're really trying to get the word out there on that.
And, and as you mentioned right there, also, you did a recent study, I guess, in which you could defend some of the results of what Vichem Ecofluids is about. Is that correct?
That's correct. And as you mentioned before, the technology is continuing to increase at a really high rate in the drilling fluid industry. It's to open up resources that were previously unattainable. So with these new technologies, Vichem's really happy to be part of the scientific process there. So we like to present our data as much as possible. And in our latest paper, we wrote specifically on the MHA system and presented at the American Association of Drilling Engineers, their National Technical Conference and Exposition just, I think, the week before last in Oklahoma City.
I thought it was interesting, Buddy. There was one of your competitors there with an awful lot of questions to you personally on your system. They should seem to have quite a bit of interest, because one of the things you shared was that you're getting results that mirror oil-based mud, and I don't think really anybody else in the industry is having that success. Is that your understanding?
That's correct. Yes. There are competing water-based systems. We obviously think ours is the best, or else we'd make some changes to increase the effectiveness of it. But what we're aiming is an environmentally friendly drilling fluid that has lubricity and inhibition characteristics similar to oil-based muds. Oil-based muds can be composed of diesel or synthetic oils, but also high in chlorides. So our drilling fluid has none of those properties, and along with the new performance of oil-based muds, we have health, safety, environmental benefits, cost benefits, as well as some other things that in the drilling operations, of the ability to control losses. And our drilling fluid, we actually have some reports that our drilling fluid is superior at protection of pay zone, and it's oil-based alternatives.
Now, when you say protection of pay zone, what does that mean?
All right, exactly. Well, the object of drilling a well, you got to remember, is not just to put a hole in the ground, but it's rather to get the oil back out of that. And that's something that a lot of times we concentrate on actually drilling the well. That we got to remember, there's a pay zone in there, so there's a certain area of this well where the oil is concentrated. And the objective is to get that oil back out of the rock and into the wellbore. Well, with oil-based muds are based on an emulsion. And those emulsifiers can change the wettability of the rock and actually prevent oil from coming back out of the formation. So despite the fact of them successfully drilling a well, it may not be very productive because of damage that they do to that formation.
That is interesting, and I tell everybody it's amazing. Obviously right now, if you look at the industry, the oil-based is probably the predominant one. However, there's a lot of issues with that because of what we've talked about previously on not only this segment but prior segments in regards to the environmental aspects of things, etc. And so you have a product that actually performs better in many cases than the oil-based without all of the derivatives and offsets associated with some of the bad things that an oil-based drilling fluid has right now. And, and I think that's extremely important to note out there because, as you mentioned even in your article, it performs the same without some of the toxins, for lack of a better word. And again, I'm not a scientist, so I don't know all maybe the technicality of things right there. But some of the toxins that are in the existing fluids right now with superior performance also. The pay zone, as you talked about right there, is less compromised, but more importantly, you're able to bring up more versus the traditional drilling fluids that are out there.
That's precisely the findings that we're finding. That paper you can download at the AADE website or from VichemEcoFluids.com. But we wanted to share those results with the rest of the world, and we understand that new technologies are generally come on fairly slow, and we've been real patient with that. We're just trying to get the word out there to give water-based muds a chance, and we can perform, and we can also provide benefits that are previously unavailable when using oil-based or emulsion-based muds.
Well, Buddy, we're coming up against time in this segment. Do us a favor. Let us know where we can reach you.
VichemEcoFluids.com.
VichemEcoFluids.com. Buddy, Kent, thank you very much for being on board today. For all those listening, you are tuned into The Price of Business. We're coming up against the end of the show. We look forward to seeing you tomorrow. Again, check out all of our guests at priceofbusiness.com. My name is Chris Kelso, filling in for Kevin Price. Until next time, have a great day.